So here we have all the figures that will be displayed in today's setup. But now it is time to set up the action figures. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the video here on Rain Reviews. And for today's video, I am bringing you guys back with another WWE action figure setup video. Alright, everybody, so as you guys saw a few days ago, I did a mystery WWE action figure setup where the mystery wheel actually got to pick the setup for me. But for today, I think I'm going to pick the figures myself, simply because the mystery wheel already picked the figures out for me a few days ago. And I know a lot of you guys like the mystery wheel, so don't worry, I will be doing a lot more mystery wheel videos soon. But for those of you guys who do not know how this works, I will be picking out 14 figures from my shelf over here, 7 duels total. Then at the end, I'm going to be displaying them in my arena. Once the video is over, you guys have to comment down below which one was your favorite. But without further ado, let's pick out the action figures from my collection. Alright guys, before I do pick out the figures from my collection, I know a lot of you OG viewers might be tired of me saying this, but for the new viewers, I want to show you guys what I have on my shelf. So for my top shelf, I have all my Ultimate Edition figures. Here on my second shelf, I have all my favorite wrestlers. On my third shelf, I just have a bunch of duplicate figures. And on my fourth shelf, I just have a bunch of OG and Legends figures. And obviously at the bottom, I have all of my min on card figures. But now let's pick out the figures that will be displayed in today's setup. Alright guys, I usually like to start off with the top shelf. So for today, I'm going to start off with this Ultimate Edition Cody Rhodes. I'm just kidding. I always use this Cody Rhodes. So for today, I actually want to use an Elite Cody Rhodes. I want to use this Elite Cody Rhodes that I have over here that I have not used yet. This is the Elite 111 Cody Rhodes. I really wish they would have made this attire into an Ultimate Edition figure because that would have been very sick. And moving on to the next figure. Alright guys, I am filming this video before Saturday night's main event. So by the time this video is up, you guys will already know who won the match. I'm going to place Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens right over here. And this is a new War Games Kevin Owens that I just bought a few days ago, so that's very sick. So here we have the first duo of the setup, so now let's pick out the other 6 duos. Moving on to the next duo, I think I'm going to grab this Elite 113 CM Punk. And I'm going to be making him face his top pick, Seth Rollins, since they clearly hate each other a lot right now. And for the next 2 figures, this might be a random duo, but I'm going to grab main event Jey USO. And I'm going to be making him face Bronson Reed, even though he is currently injured right now because of War Games. For those of you guys who do not know, Bronson Reed actually broke his ankles when he jumped off the steel cage. And for the next 2 figures, even though this match did already happen once this video is out, I'm gonna grab Finn Balor right over here. And this is not gonna be a one-on-one match. This is gonna be a triple threat match. So I'm gonna grab Finn Balor. We're gonna place him right over here, and then we're also gonna grab the Ring General Gunther and Damian Priest as well back here. So far we have 4 matches, so we need 3 more. For this next duo, I'm gonna grab 2 of my favorite superstars of all time. This was such a great rivalry. I remember when they had a TLC match for the World Heavyweight Champion, I believe. We're gonna grab Jeff Hardy, my second favorite superstar of all time, and I'm also gonna grab the Rated R superstar Edge right over here. And moving on to the next 2 figures of the setup, this might be a random setup as well, but I'm gonna grab Sheamus back here just because I feel like I've never actually used him for a setup video, and I'm gonna be making him face the United States Champion Shinsuke Nakamura. And moving on to the last and final setup of the day, we're gonna do one of the most random but funny duos. We're gonna do R-Truth, and we're gonna be making him face Hornswoggle. I bet you guys did not expect this duo at all, but this is the comedy duo right here. So here we have all the figures that will be displayed in today's setup, but now it is time to set up the action figures. And here we have all the WWE action figures displayed. This setup honestly took me quite a while to do because of the poses that I have the figures in, especially that Jey USO and Bronson Reed, because that Jey USO did not want to stand, it kept falling over. But man, this setup is sick, especially that Jeff Hardy right there. So without further ado, let's check out and see what each and every single one of these figures is doing. We're gonna start off with a classic match. We got the Rated R Superstar versus Jeff Hardy for the World Heavyweight Champion. I believe this is the greatest entrance Jeff Hardy. I bought this figure like in 2018, 2017, I believe. And I believe this is the Elite 6 Edge. I can't really remember what series it's from because it's like been so many years, but I think it's the Elite 6 Edge. For those of you guys who do not know, Edge is actually my favorite superstar of all time, and Jeff Hardy is my second favorite superstar of all time, so this match was great for me. I remember when this match was happening, I was like 4 or 5 years old. I can't really remember what year it was. I can't remember if it was in 2009 or 2010. I believe it was in 2009. I remember Edge getting stuck to the ladder and Jeff Hardy winning the World Heavyweight Champion, and I was so happy, even though Edge is actually my favorite superstar of all time. I really wanted Jeff Hardy to win that match, so I was very happy about that. Then, of course, CM Punk had to come right at the end and cash in and beat Jeff Hardy for the World Heavyweight Champion. I remember I was so mad about that. Some of my favorite things that Jeff Hardy would do was obviously jump from the top ladder and do the Swanton Bomb. But a very underrated move, in my opinion, was the Whisper in the Wind. The Whisper in the Wind has to be one of my favorite wrestling moves of all time. But other than that, that was Jeff Hardy versus the Rated R Superstar Edge for the World Heavyweight Champion. And moving over here to the right, we got a funny duel. We got R-Truth versus Hornswoggle, but they're not really fighting. Honestly, I cannot really remember what wave both of these figures are from. This is an Elite R-Truth that came with the 24/7 champion, and this Hornswoggle, I actually bought this figure like in 2010. It came with Finlay. It was a battle pack. So this figure is very old. I believe it was in the first 3 battle pack waves that ever came out. But both of these 2 guys are very funny. I can't believe The Miz actually turned his back on R-Truth again. I guess The Miz is known for turning his back on his tag team partners, just like how he did for Logan Paul Alex Riley, and now R-Truth. As for Hornswoggle, he's currently not in the WWE, but one of my favorite moments of Hornswoggle that he's ever had in his career has to be when he took DX to Little People's Court. That segment was so funny. I don't know if you guys saw this, but Hornswoggle recently signed the Legends deal, which means Mattel can finally release more Hornswoggle figures. But other than that, that was R-Truth versus Hornswoggle, even though they're not fighting. And moving over here to the back, we got Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Champion. So I believe this is a top pick Sheamus, and this is an Elite 109 Chase Shinsuke Nakamura. And I don't know about you guys, but I really want Sheamus to have one more solo run with the United States Champion or the Intercontinental Champion. So hopefully Triple H can make this match happen further down the line. I feel like Sheamus is currently very underrated because he did make a lot of noise back in the day. As for Shinsuke Nakamura, I really hope that he does not give LA Knight the rematch, but I'm pretty sure it will happen eventually. Hopefully Shinsuke Nakamura faces people like Sheamus, Logan Paul, or Dominic Mysterio, because in my opinion, all three of those matches will be very interesting. But other than that, guys, that was Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura for the United States Champion. And moving over here to the right, we got main event Jey Uso versus an injured Bronson Reed. So this is an Ultimate Edition Jey Uso, and this is an Elite 108 Bronson Reed. Bronson Reed is actually currently injured. When he jumped from on top of the cage at War Games, he actually broke his ankle. So I don't think we're going to see Bronson Reed for a while right now. As for Jey Uso, as we all saw, he recently got attacked by Drew McIntyre. I'm really hoping that he gets a singles title once again, because his 28th day with the Intercontinental Championship was not it at all. Maybe he can even beat Shinsuke Nakamura and become the new US champion. But personally, I would rather see him win the IC champion back again. But other than that, guys, that was main event Jey Uso versus an injured Bronson Reed. And moving over here to the back, we got a triple threat match actually. We got Finn Balor versus Gunther versus Damian Priest for the World Heavyweight Champion. By the time this video comes out, we'll know who won the championship. We'll know if Gunther retained, if Damian Priest won the champion, or if Finn Balor is the new World Heavyweight Champion. This is an Elite 111 Finn Balor, that is an Elite 109 Damian Priest, and this is an Ultimate Edition Gunther. If Finn Balor did not win the World Heavyweight Champion at Saturday's main event, I really hope that eventually he does become the World Champion, because he is currently one of my favorite superstars and I really want him to have a singles run again. As for Gunther and Damian Priest, I mean, I don't have much to say about Damian Priest. He doesn't really interest me that much. I think he is pretty cool, but I just don't pay attention to him that much. As for Gunther, you guys know that I do not like Gunther at all. He is actually my least favorite superstar at the moment. Imagine if Gunther eventually becomes my favorite superstar. That would be so funny. But I don't think that's ever gonna happen. After this triple threat match, I feel like you should give Finn Balor a one-on-one match, and hopefully Damian Priest does not interfere, because I really like Finn Balor. But we'll see what happens in the upcoming weeks. But other than that, guys, that was Gunther versus Damian Priest versus Finn Balor for the World Heavyweight Champion. And moving over here to the front, we got another Saturday's main event match. We got the main event itself. We got the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. So this is an Elite 111 Cody Rhodes, and this is the Survivor Series War Games way of Kevin Owens. I'm like 1000% sure that Cody Rhodes is going to retain his title, because I cannot see him dropping the title till like WrestleMania, maybe even past WrestleMania. If somebody does take the title away from Cody, I feel like it should be Randy Orton to set up John Cena versus Randy Orton at WrestleMania 41. As for Kevin Owens, if Randy Orton does not come after Cody Rhodes, I feel like Randy should face Kevin Owens once again once he's back and good to go. Maybe even at the Royal Rumble, because Randy Orton does have to get his get back at Kevin Owens. But we'll see what happens in the future. I feel like Cody Rhodes still has to face Roman Reigns for the undisputed title, because Roman has not gotten his rematch yet. But other than that, that was the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens for the undisputed title. And moving over here to the front, we got the last and final setup of the day. We got the best in the world about to hit Seth Rollins with the GTS through a table. So this is an Elite 113 CM Punk, and this is a top pick Seth Rollins. A lot of people have been speculating that CM Punk versus Seth Rollins will happen at the first Raw of Netflix. If I had to pick who I would want to win that match, I'd probably have to go with CM Punk, just so that he gets a bigger build up, even though I do like both Seth Rollins and CM Punk. And as we all saw, Drew McIntyre is back and is also facing Sami Zayn. Well, by the time this video is out, he faced Sami Zayn at Saturday's main event. But now that Drew McIntyre is back, I wonder if CM Punk and Drew McIntyre will have one more match. In my opinion, that wouldn't make too much sense, because they already had their trilogy and CM Punk won that trilogy. So we'll see what happens between Drew McIntyre and CM Punk. As for Seth Rollins, I'm not too sure what they're going to do with his future. Bronson Reed will eventually come back and probably face Seth Rollins again. I do kind of want to see Seth Rollins have another match for the World Heavyweight Champion. I can't see him winning a title anytime soon, but we'll see what happens in the future. But other than that, that was CM Punk about to hit Seth Rollins with a go to sleep through a table. But there we have it, guys. That was today's WWE action figure setup. My favorite setup definitely had to be the Jeff Hardy versus the Rated R Superstar Edge, simply because I always love using weapons as a prop, and because Edge and Jeff Hardy are my two favorite superstars of all time. But let me know in the comment section down below, which one was your favorite setup. Was it Sheamus versus Shinsuke Nakamura? Was it Jey Uso versus Bronson Reed? Was it Finn Balor versus Gunther and Damian Priest? Was it the American Nightmare Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens? Was it R-Truth versus Hornswoggle? Was it Jeff Hardy versus Edge? Or was it the best in the world CM Punk versus Seth Rollins? Alright, everybody, so that's gonna do it for today's video. Let me know in the comment section down below which one was your favorite setup. Like I said, mine definitely had to be the Jeff Hardy versus Edge, because that's a classic match. But other than that, thank you guys so much for watching. Have a blessed day, and I will see you guys in the next one.